Hey everyone, and welcome to the first Stock Talk After Hours video. Well, the market was kinda crappy today. The first half of today was pretty good, but then the second half of the day just fell apart. As you can see here, we got a confirmation, a buy signal here on ARK on the 3-hour. Got a confirmation there, bullish MACD, crossing of the SMA. And then we rode it up. We got above this line of resistance. You can see here we failed 3 times here on the 3-hour. But then we finally pushed up, and then we were riding slowly but surely. And then what happened? Well, Jerome is talking on Wednesday, March 17th, and people are freaking out once again about inflation and interest rates being risen. People's big concern right now is now that the economy is doing better, when that happens, naturally you're supposed to raise interest rates. So that's why people are freaking out, despite the fact that the Fed has said that they are not going to do this until 2023. In this article here, one of the key points is Chairman Jerome Powell and his fellow policymakers will have to convince investors that the current policy is correct and won't change in response to a brighter economic outlook and major progress in the COVID-19 fight. So COVID's getting more or less under control. We still have some ways to go, but the numbers are dwindling, more vaccines are out, there are more jobs, etc. The economy is overall improving slowly but surely. With that, you're supposed to, in theory, raise interest rates. They do not plan on raising interest rates unless they drop some big bomb tomorrow, but according to this article on CNBC, and I know some people hate CNBC, but they do not plan on raising interest rates. Of course, there's this fear of inflation, because I do think inflation will be a concern later down the road, but I don't think it's an immediate concern. And the interest rates, assuming, let's say they do in fact raise them in 2023, I think it's a little premature to freak out about it right now. I'm sure many of you are annoyed with this recent drop in the stock market. We are basically waiting to see what Jerome says and how the market reacts tomorrow. If they feel mixed or don't like what he says, I imagine that the market will take another dip. The whole dip that happened recently in the market was due to fears of inflation and interest rates hiking, and that was part of it, amongst other things, but that was a big part of it, and we saw that huge dip here. So it is annoying that we are now having the same freak out, all because Jerome's talking. And I get it, inflation is a concern and whatnot, and interest rates rising, but I think it's a big overreaction. I think people need to calm down and see what happens. I sold a lot of my positions. I sold my ARK investments. Reason being, I know we didn't get a sell signal technically. You'll watch my swing trading course like, oh, why do you sell? You're not listening to your own advice. Well, yes. However, in this circumstance, we are awaiting if the market freaks out or not. If they like what he says and then we get a continuation of upside, I'll just buy right here, and then we'll ride it up, and hopefully we get past this resistance and go back to the $140-ish zone in terms of ARK. Now let's do some quick bonus, some technical analysis on Bitcoin. We saw the big drop here, and we found support on this uptrending line. Got a couple rejections, but then eventually we did break through, found support on the 54. Now, the key thing to look for now is if we break through. Now this is acting as resistance. Now it was support, now it is acting like resistance. So now we have to see if we can break through this and then break through this $57,000 zone. This is 57,800-ish level. Then if we break through this zone, then I will be pretty confident in a huge upswing. But until then, if we get rejected here, I imagine that we will either fall to the 54,000 or more likely 52,000 level before continuing back up or going sideways. So for tomorrow, watch what Jerome Powell says and see how the market responds to it. If it's positive, you can buy in probably. If not, then you can wait it out or short the market depending on how big of a reaction it is. So I'm personally hanging tight to see what happens, and then hopefully I prefer being a bull, but if the market doesn't like the news, well, I guess we'll be bears in the short term, hopefully. But that wraps up tonight's video. If you like what you've seen here, please like and subscribe, and with that, thank you.